Well, it's a very good morning. My name is Uganda Semakola Ziksoka. Welcome to BC TV. It is Good Morning Uganda Extra, and we are joined by General Edward Katumba, the Minister of Works and Transport, today in our studios here to again take you through quite a number of things, and of course to say thank you so much and welcome to our conversation and discussion this morning. My name is Uganda Semakola Ziksoka. I am happy to have you and to see you, General Edward Katumba. Good morning.
Morning. Thank you very much.
I am happy to have you here, sir, and I've not officially hosted you, and of course I thanked God for your life, and of course to also congratulate you upon your appointment again as a Minister of Works and Transport, but just say congratulations and karibu again.
Asante.
Well, thank you very much. Here is all we just want to talk about specifically your Ministry of Works and Transport and its roadmap, of course, its strategy to national development. Let's start with that before we get into the nitty-gritty of the very many things that you are doing currently at the ministry.
Thank you very much. Of course, my ministry is the turnkey to development.
Very important.
If you are going to develop this country, then you need very efficient infrastructure development. However, as you possibly know, that we didn't start getting a lot of emphasis on this until about 2010. That's when we got what we call our first trillion.
Your first trillion?
Our first trillion.
In 2010?
In 2010,
11 years ago.
In infrastructure development. As you possibly recall, there were a number of priorities before then, among which was security, because we couldn't even develop the infrastructure without security. So the first call was security. When security was done, then there was the attraction of industries, but then you couldn't have the industries without power. Then there was a focus on generating power, increasing the generation plants from the one plant which we had to now coming to about 3 or 4, including Bujagari, Isimba, Karuma, and the others. So eventually then it was seen that yes, while you can do this, you do the development, you have the security, you have the industries, but then how will you move the goods? Then we focus now came on the infrastructure. Okay. And that's where we are now. As I've said, progressively between 2010 and 2015, government spent about 16.8 trillion shillings in investment in infrastructure, which was a big boost. Okay. And it helped. It has helped.
Okay, just like you said, your ministry is a turnkey to development, and for any country to develop, of course, the Ministry of Works and Transport is one of those that you need to give priority to. Now, having managed others, provided power, provided security, we are now on to this particular one. When we look at, especially now, the budget appropriations, when we look at the budget appropriations, which of course go to the Ministry of Works, the biggest chunk goes to the Ministry of Works, are we on the right trajectory of our development, and is this giving us the green light to our Vision 2040, or we think we are still stranded somewhere that we possibly need to again realign quite a number of things?
I think we are doing steady progress. We are realizing steady progress. You know, all our developments, all our infrastructure projects are guided by the National Development Plan. So the National Development Plan gives us the start point. Usually that is also reinforced by the manifesto. So the two documents, they talk to each other, and when they talk to each other, they give us the direction. So right now, for example, in the recent past, you know that we are looking at oil 2023. And so there has been a lot of emphasis in developing the infrastructure to facilitate the production of oil. Most of the infrastructure now I can see within the oil belt in the Albertine Graben, I think is about 70–80% ready. In fact, even today, even if they said equipments are coming, they can come, because what we did with those infrastructure, we first addressed the choke points to ensure that the infrastructure are available for the movement of the equipment. Okay. We have also done the airport, Kabale Airport. It's about 70% ready to be able to receive those equipment which are sensitive, which may not be able to come by road, and some of which are too heavy to be brought on by road. So that belt, that area, I can say now with confidence that we're about 70% ready to receive the equipment for the production of oil. Also, what we have done is to ensure that our country, being a land-linked country, we are connected, border to border, from Malaba to Lamia in Bundibujo, from Elegu to Chanika in Kisoro, from Misingo to Katuna on the Rwanda border. So from border to border, all our countries connected. The only border which we are yet to connect and which we are working hard to do is the one of Goli, Nebi Goli Paida, which connects to the DRC via Mahagi. That's the only border which we are working on, which has not yet been connected. So we did that, and we ensured that border to border we are connected.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's important. Now, when you look at the Ministry of Works and Transport, of course, it has the other sub-sectors, and quite a number of sectors that you have in there. And what most Ugandans know about is the road sector, or the road sector, of course, now. That's where UNRWA is, and all the others. Let's talk about the priorities. Are your priorities right as a ministry for all the other different subsectors? Now, when we talk about the road sector, we talk about the water transport, we talk about the air transport, we talk about the rail transport, and all the others. Are we
getting it right?
Are we getting it right?
Okay. Yes, I think the lessons are learned, and I think COVID also taught us some good and bad lessons. One of the lessons COVID taught us was that, yes, we are developing the infrastructure, the road infrastructure, but it can be overwhelmed with the trucks and transport and all that. And I think you saw what was happening with truck drivers and the issues of COVID test and all our trucks. In
the early days of COVID.
Exactly. And then you found also that our roads, you know, the survival of our roads, these roads are done to survive for 15 to 20 years.
Okay.
But because of traffic overload, you know, as I said, we are land linked, and in the region we are like the hub. So everybody within the region
to cross to another country has to come through Uganda.
So all the trucks to Congo, all the cargo to Eastern Congo, all the cargo to Rwanda, all the cargo to Burundi, to South
Transit
Sudan,
point is Uganda.
Has to transfer through Uganda. Now we have come to realize that actually we will not be able to maintain and sustain our road infrastructure at that rate, with a growing economy, with growing trade volumes. So now we are prioritizing now the lorry transport. So lorry is becoming a big do in terms of moving the cargo, most of the cargo away from the road to the rail and water. So what have we done? We have tried to invest in the lorry, yes. Our standard gauge lorry is not yet. That's another story, another issue we'll discuss later, maybe if time allows. But we have decided to rehabilitate the meter gauge.
The meter gauge.
Working with our Kenyan brothers, we have decided to link the meter gauge, the old meter gauge, repair it and link it to both countries. So that's what we have done. Because Kenya had done the standard gauge lorry from Mombasa to Naivasha. At one point, they wanted to create an internal port for Uganda in Naivasha, that our goods come with a standard gauge railway and they're offloaded in Naivasha. We said no, that's going to give us another problem. Because
would it give us a problem?
Why?
Would it give us a problem?
Yes, because the traders would load their cargo from Mombasa to Naivasha, offload it, and then load it again on the trucks. You see the double handling.
Offloading and loading.
Unloading. And then they also talked about the empty containers. If you take empty containers in Naivasha, they'll take a long time to reach the destination, and they're charged for that. So it was it was going to add a lot of cost. So we said no, it won't work for us. So Kenya said, okay, if it won't work for you, let's find a solution. We are going to connect the standard gauge from Naivasha to the meter gauge at Longonot, and then we are going to repair the line from Longonot to Malaba. And that one they have done. That one they're about in the final stages of that. Now realizing that, we said, if they do that, then they're going to deposit all our cargo in Tororo. Then it's going to bring another congestion.
In Tororo?
In Tororo. So we have decided, and we are starting soon. Actually today we are signing a contract with a Chinese company which has done the repair on the other side to come and do our repair on this side of the meter gauge railway. Now, in the process, we also bought what you see now
in the newspapers,
on the media.
Yes,
it's making rounds, but I think, the problem is that in Uganda, everybody is knowledgeable.
We are all experts.
We are all experts.
Of everything.
Of everything and of nothing.
Of nothing, exactly.
So everybody is an expert. Yesterday I had even one of the members asking a question, what's the weight of the wagon, of the engine? You said they have told us the engine is 90 pounds. Sure? That's not
90 pounds.
9 pounds? That can't be.
Yeah.
So, and engines are not measured in terms of weight. They are measured in
yeah.
terms of axles. Anyway, that's, be it as it may, we are sure that those engines will work. Of course, we know that there are some people who are feeling very, very injured by us moving that direction. Why? Because if we move most of the cargo off the road, the transporters are injured, private transporters. The people who have been benefiting from the rot of the URC, because I think you know what...
Because that's one of your other agencies.
Yes, you remember what happened when we privatized to RVR, and instead of the Uganda Railways Corporation growing upwards, it was going downwards. And of course, a number of people benefited from that, including selling of our land,
The land, yes.
People have been benefiting from fuel, excessive use of fuel. You know, fuel is one of the most lucrative part of the railway. Now we are putting in mechanisms to control the fuel. These engines which have come will take half the amount of fuel the old engines have been taking to bring cargo from Tororo to Kampala. Now, all that is not auguring well with some people.
Are you saying we are on the right trajectory with the railway bit of it, with the meter gauge railway bit of it,
yes,
as opposed to what is in the press today, what is in the media?
Exactly. What is
in the media is destructive, you
is destructive. And you know, when you are going to serve Ugandans, you need to have a hard skin. You remember what happened when we brought the bombardiers?
Yes.
And then they put rats and put snakes, and they said...
I was one of the first customers of the Bombardier.
Yes.
They are made in commercial flights.
Yes.
I was one of those to go to Nairobi with it, to actually find out whether there was a rat.
Whether there was a rat, whether there were rats or snakes. And you remember when they said, no, these planes were not, they didn't fly in. They were brought and then deposited at the airport. What has happened? I think time will tell. I'm sure that even this one, time will tell. Okay. Time will absolve us. Okay. And then they will see what we are aiming at.
So what's our
what we need is to move cargo off the road. Okay. The bulk of it to the rail. We have also repaired our wagons, the MV Pamba, which had been abandoned like a trash. It's now functional. It's going to join Kawa, and then we shall be doing some trips to Kisumu and also Mwanza. And so that will also help us to reduce on cargo on the road. For example, now when we do a ship load of fuel from Kisumu, one ship load is equivalent to 45 trucks on the road. So these are investments which we are doing and which we think will eventually help us as we invest in the road so we can preserve them, but also be able to support the other sectors.
What about the other school of thought that says we failed on the standard gauge railway and now resorting to the meter gauge, which is an old thing, and trying to actually remain in the old days.
In analog.
In analog, yet our neighbors, Kenya, Tanzania, and all the others have actually moved and gone to those very first standard gauge, and we are stuck in the meter gauge and praising it.
No, I think we again, as I've told you, Kenya did it up to Naivasha. They were supposed to do it to Kisumu, from Kisumu to Malaba.
Then we pick it over from Malaba.
Then we pick it from Malaba.
Then we go up to Mirama.
Then we go up to Mirama, and Rwanda picks it from there. So it was a regional project. Now, I can't speak for Kenya, but maybe they had some issues. Okay. That's why they were not able to do the last legs. Now,
and we could only do it after Kenya comes to Malaba.
We will do it. Okay. We will do it, but we picked lessons also. You know, sometimes Uganda was saying to when your friend falls in a pit,
you learn from that.
You learn from that.
You know that there is danger there.
Yeah, you learn that there's danger there. So for us, we learned from some of the shortcomings which our friends had, and they are good people. We share very very well with them everything. So we shared, and we saw that we had to go slow but sure. We shall do the standard gauge, but at our own pace, within our own means. Okay. Not without overstretching the government.
So for the meter gauge, we've seen Ugandans, of course, dealing and taking away all the rail, the metals, they've sold the land. Recently, there was a picture actually showing on social media where somebody built a house.
Right.
Exactly. And you know, when the train comes, he either has to knock the house down or to actually stop in the house.
Yes, he wants the train to park in his bedroom.
Exactly. And this train will actually come and park in this man or woman's bedroom. And that's it. So what's the progress on that, and what shall we do when we have stubborn Ugandans like Jagan and General Katumba or Mara who have actually done these things to themselves?
No, we are getting a solution. First of all, those people who invaded our land, they have no right to claim over that land. Because they came on the land knowing. Even when we discuss with them, they tell us, tumanyi, Now, that was before, when the rail was not working. Now I've seen, you saw those engines. They are very strong engines.
These are very strong.
The new ones. We are going to rehabilitate that line. We are going even to change the technology. The slippers they have been enjoying to steal, now we are going to change them into concrete slippers. Yeah. So they will have no market.
They will have no market.
Yes. Because now they are stealing them because they are steel. And selling them to the steel factories to smelt for iron bars. But now we are going to change them into cement. We have also,
which can be taken back to turn into lime.
They can't take it back to lime.
You can't take it back to lime or cement again.
Yes. So we are doing that. We are also doing capacity building for the railway line, for the railway people, because over the time, when, as I said, when the RVR was in place, it actually destroyed the railway system.
The infrastructure.
Totally. So it's like we are starting all over again. So we have to invest in new manpower and capacity building and all that. Good enough, we are working very closely with the National Enterprise Corporation.
The business arm of
the army. And we are sharing resources because they have, for example, officers and men who trained in laying the railway line.
Under their engineering brigade?
They also trained in operating the engines. So we are sharing that. Now, for example, NEC has a facility in Nakasongola where we don't need to import any part of our wagons. Any part. They can forge any part. You just take it to them. They fit it in the computer, and after a few minutes, you have your part.
In Nakasongola
here? I wish you could take time and go and see those machines. They're called the precision spare part making machines. They are very nice. So we are now saying there's no need to import anymore. We shall be able to give our workshop, equip our workshop in Nalukorongo with the relevant materials, but from within.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The latest on Entebbe Express, not the expressway, not the Entebbe International Airport expansion, because that's also one of you or one of your sectors under the Civil Aviation Authority. Yes. What's the progress on that? Because for some of us who have the privilege to actually walk and go to the airport, we see a lot of works happening there. And like you said, it is a turnkey to national development. We also need to know the latest on our expansion of the international airport.
Yeah, we are moving on steadily. The expansion is ongoing. We have already worked on some runways, about 2 of them. They're already reinforced and they're good to go. We have already done some, expanded the parking. If you go to the airport now, you'll see some of the parking facilities for the airport, for the aircraft extended out there. We have already got a fuel farm, which is now from within the near future. You are not going to have these fuel trucks going to fuel the aircraft. No. Everything is going to come with a pipe underground, and the aircraft will be filled automatically. This is a requirement internationally by international standards, because there is a fear that some of that fuel which you fill through the tank, the fuel tank, can be adulterated. But this one is coming from the big tanks, and then it comes through the hydrants right into the plane. Yes, so that one has been provided for.
Okay.
We have expanded the cargo facility at the airport.
Cargo facility, yes.
From 25,000 metric tons to now 100,000 metric tons worth of cold storage.
4 times bigger.
4 times bigger. And we are going to add another 50,000 square meters of, again, storage facility, again, to support our export, because the airport is supposed to support other sectors of the economy. We may not make money as the airport or as the airline, but those assets support other sectors of the economy. If we make the airport user-friendly, we make it nice, because our dream is to make it a regional hub. That the people from West Africa, from South Africa, who are connecting to Dubai and elsewhere, come in here.
That's the plan?
Yes. Come in here and then connect with the Emirates, connect with other planes. And actually, that's the plan which fits in well with the Uganda Airlines. You saw we started with the Bombardiers.
Well, the Bombardier Sierra 900.
Yes. Those are regional. For regional operation.
Aircraft.
Yeah, aircraft. We correct people from Kinshasa, from elsewhere, bring them to...
From Juba, from Nairobi,
bring them to Entebbe. Then they pick the other airlines. Or now they can use our A330 800 to go to Dubai,
to South Africa,
to London, to South Africa, and Guangzhou. So Entebbe is going to be a regional hub. And if it's going to meet those standards of a regional hub, then it must have the facilities we are talking about. Very soon, if the funds are allowing, and I want to thank government recently, they gave us some 15 billion to finish the expansion, especially the arrival and departure lounges, which are going to be state of the art. If you go there now, even now as it is, if you see the departure lounge, it's something new, something fresh. So we want to make it really user friendly and very, very amiable to the users.
Okay.
So that when people come, the international travelers, they feel comfortable.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
so that's being done. And very soon we shall also have, we'll be opening, I don't know whether you have been there of late, we have also made a lot of modifications, especially in the departure lounge. Because the concept now is that departure lounge is not supposed to be, it's supposed to be free air, and with COVID also, you know.
And with COVID now, you need a lot of space.
Yes, you need space. You need people to space out. And if you go there now, you'll see that in the departure lounges. We have even put there new furniture. Yes, I saw the Kosase saying, why did we buy these expensive seats? My brother, this is an international airport. We have international standards. The airport has its standards. Much as
ICAO standards.
Yes,
you don't choose by yourself.
Much as I would love to have this chair made by my brother in Mairombiri, but that's not the standard of the airport. There are things we cannot compromise on, and standard of the airport is one.
Boop is okay for us in our houses,
okay
in our offices, in our places of work.
Yes, but if you are going to talk of national image,
yes.
you need to invest.
Well, that's very important. And I think I thank you so much, General Katumba Amala, for the update on our international airport. This now takes me to the Entebbe Express Highway. Of course, we now know that starting January, we will be paying. When this road was being constructed, we of course saw the toll gates, the 3 toll gates in Kajansi, Impala, and Busega.
Yes.
And we knew that it will be a road for us to pay. Now, this road was commissioned officially in June 2018 by His Excellency the President of Uganda, and for the last about 4 years now, people have been plying on this road gratis. Lately is when we were told we are supposed to start paying some toll fees to go through the toll gates at Ampara, at Kajansi, and elsewhere.
And then the complaints started.
And of course the complaints started now, and the complaints come so much from the people who do not use this road. But here is where General Katumba Amala, let's talk about the toll payments on these roads, and to also discuss the exemptions, if there are any, to usage of this road.
First, let me start with the exemptions. The only exemptions on this road are the President's convoy, ambulances, and fire brigade.
Those are the only exemptions.
And maybe a police vehicle responding to an emergency. Ministers' convoys, you pay.
Is that so?
Yes.
All UG number plates?
All UG number plates, you pay.
Country diplomats?
You pay.
CD number plates have
you
to pay.
Pay.
Yes. All the red and the blue plates.
Exactly. What do we need to, because this is done in other countries. Why do we want to have exceptions in Uganda? And when we go to those other countries, we conform.
We conform.
Yes. When we come here, we start finding excuses. We start finding reasons, this and that and the other.
So
Now,
it's a presence convoy,
yes,
ambulances, fire brigade, and maybe a police car responding to an emergency. There's been an accident, there's been this or that.
Yes.
Okay.
But also that could be very limited because the company which has been given the contract to operate and manage the expressway has made provision for security on the road.
Okay.
Is supposed to do the lighting of the whole road.
The lighting bit of it.
Yes. Is supposed to provide ambulance emergencies on the road. So these are the services you are going to be paying for. People are asking, what am I paying for?
Oh.
When this road was made by taxpayers' money, and I'm a taxpayer, and I paid the taxes. Why am I paying? You are paying for the services. Just like you pay for water and the power, this one you are paying for the services of moving on a smooth road, which will take you less than 30 minutes to the airport. Fast, convenient, secure, day and night with emergency response. In case of an accident, you have an ambulance facility. In case of a breakdown, you have a towing truck, which you don't pay for. So all these are services which you are paying for. Now, if you don't have what it takes to go through the road, don't worry. Because for every express road which we make, we provide for an alternative. And the Olden Table road is going to be a dual, it's being worked on.
It's being worked on,
yes. We are going to do a dual road, a dual track, and it's going to be maintained as good as as better than even what it was before. So if UBC has not made your pocket happy this week,
drive through the expressway.
yes, we use the expressway. Drive on the old road.
On the old road.
Yes.
When do we start payments?
1st January.
We start 1st January.
Yes.
Okay. And
but they also, for example, there were also provisions for regular users.
Monthly users, weekly users, for those exemptions.
Yes.
Not exemptions, but discounts.
Discounts. Yes. And they're big, 70%, 50%.
Discount,
yeah. So what you do, like me as a ministry, I pay for the whole month and I get my discount. If I use it 3 times a month, if I use it 5 times a month, but I pay.
Because the discount comes on the 60 trips.
Exactly.
That's very important.
Yes.
Recently, we also saw the Uganda Revenue Authority handing over the motor vehicle registration and licensing back to the ministry.
Yes.
How in the first place did it go away from you, and what does the handover again now tell us?
No, the Traffic and Road Safety Act of 2018 actually just reinforced the provision. The mandate of vehicle registration and vehicle management in the country is a mandate of the Ministry of Works
and Transport.
Uganda Revenue Authority is just interested in tax, correcting the tax. That's all.
That's a mandate.
So they had been given something which was just overbearing for them. It was just a burden, overburdening them, because for them they don't have that time to concentrate. For us, we have a full directorate of transport, and we have commissioner of charge in transport and road safety. He's there, full commissioner. So those ones can concentrate on even tracking the vehicle. Jagenda has sold his vehicle. He wants to transfer it to General Katumba. These are the details. This is how it goes about it. But Uganda Revenue Authority, for its just interest, have you paid the taxes? Okay. That's all.
So it's back to you.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Okay. How about the global plan for the decade of action, 2021-2030? There is also, what is it asking for? What does that, the global plan for the decade of action, 2021-2030?
Is that you're talking about the decarbonization?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Yesterday, actually, we had an interaction with the COP26.
The COP26
officials in Germany, and we're discussing, exchanging views and also sharing experiences on the challenges of decarbonizing our countries. And we all looked at the transport sector as one of the victims, but also one of the biggest contributors of green gas emissions. So among the things we are doing, and as we have discussed even before, the moving of most of the cargo from the road to the rail, that in itself is in the right direction of reducing the carbonization. Because if you have the train, how much does it generate in terms of emissions? As opposed to having 50
trucks on the
road with the variant mechanical conditions. Sometimes you'd move on that road and you see the emissions from behind some of the trucks. So that's one way we are doing it. Secondly, we are also promoting the production of e-vehicles. You know about Toyota and all these vehicles, the electronic vehicles. We are supporting them. Actually, I think we are among the first customers to support Chira company, because our CAA is using an e-vehicle. Oh. Yes, they are using the e-bus to move their staff. Yeah, and even at the airport.
Okay. How about on the roads now? The Minister of Works and Transport, do you oversee all the roads, national roads, city roads, urban roads, the community access roads? Are they under your docket, or you leave some others to the districts, for example? And because this comes in when we talk about maintenance of certain particular roads, when you look at them and say, now look at this road, just a newly constructed road, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road, the road needs a lot of maintenance, and we do not even know who to actually ask from. You as the ministry, do you oversee all of them, or you leave it to some others?
In terms of standards, the Minister of Works is responsible. Okay. But we delegate responsibilities to agencies and districts. For example, National Road Authority has a delegated responsibility to look after the national roads.
All national roads?
All national roads. And right now, we have a total of 21,000, say 22,000 kilometers of national roads.
In the country?
In the country.
22,000 kilometers?
Yes. That's the total we have for the national roads.
That's all under UNRA?
That's all that is under UNRA. Then you have roads which are under the district. There's about 40,000 kilometers. Okay. These are under the district. And you realize that the leadership, the president, was very visionary, that he realized that these districts must have capacity to maintain their own roads. And that's why every district was given a full district road unit. Dump trucks, 2 dump trucks, the water truck, the loader, the excavator, the wheel loader and the grader. All this was a full unit, and every district got that equipment. Only the 15 new ones which we are fighting to have them equipped. So there are those which are. Then you have KCCA. KCCA has a few kilometers, 2,200
in the whole city.
In the whole city. But the challenge is that most of them, many of them are still maram. The tarmac one are very old, and they need to be worked on, because I think by the time they were made, you could count the number of vehicles in the city. Now I don't know the number of vehicles which are very old, and
they have a lot of population on them.
Yes. Then we have urban roads. Urban roads, these are under the municipalities and town councils. These are a total of about 18,000, the whole country. Okay. Then we have community access roads. And these are very, very vital roads. Unfortunately, I think we still have a planning freep this is where the biggest pain of a Mwananchi is, the district and community access roads. Why? Because this is the road which takes his product from the farm to the market. This is the road which takes him to the health center. This is the road which takes
the community
access roads. And these are about 80,000 kilometers in total. The whole road network in Uganda is about 160,000 kilometers.
160,000?
Yeah, about that, 160,000 kilometers. Both those which are tarmacked and those which are untarmacked. Now, these community access roads, we need really to put an emphasis on maintaining them, because they have a big impact on a Mwananchi. I can tell you that maybe my auntie or my may never drive on a tarmac road. May never drive on a Entebbe expressway.
On the flyover?
On a flyover.
That is coming on. Yeah.
Yes.
They may never use the flyover.
She may never use this flyover, which is now
under construction.
Under construction. But definitely she has to go to the market. She has to go to the hospital. Now, why am I saying the planning freep? Because we have tried to emphasize it to the planners that we need a lot of money in maintaining these roads. Of recent, we have put a lot of emphasis in construction, which is good because we have been bad off. But I hope that at some point it's going to be the reverse, that we put a lot of money in maintenance. Because then it will not make sense for us to do all these roads and we don't maintain them. These other agencies, as you have heard, all of the agencies, apart from the community access roads, which the ministry is still trying to navigate with under the program called the DUCA.
You call it DUCA?
DUCA, District Urban Community Access Roads.
Okay.
DUCAR. That's where we try to help them to work on these roads. But the money for all this comes through the road fund. To all these agencies, every quarter, road fund releases money to them. The problem is that the money release has been going down and down and down instead of going up and up and up, and that's a big it's a big problem.
What needs to be done? Because I think
what needs to be done is that's what I'm saying, that we have made emphasis with to the Minister of Finance that we need, for every kilometer we develop, for every one kilometer over, for every 10 kilometers we develop, we must make a provision for maintenance of 3 kilometers in terms of money. So if you put 10 million for development,
for development,
put 3.5 million for maintenance. Now this has not yet sunk down well with the financial managers.
Okay.
But we are working with the committees in Parliament which are responsible for us, the Infrastructure Committee and the Budget Committee, to impress it on the Ministry of Finance that we need to up the game in terms of
because I think if that is also done, if we manage our community access roads, I think it will also facilitate for the PDM.
Yes.
It will facilitate for the household incomes.
Exactly. Exactly. Right now we are going to the parish model.
Exactly.
And parish model is supposed to help with income generation and production. How will those
access has to be
how will they reach the market?
How will they reach the market?
How will they reach the market?
Okay. Very finally, General Katumba Mala, is there was also a plan of mergers, and many of these organizations, of course, so agencies of government that were being looked at, some under your Road Minister of Works and Transport, URF, we have the Road Fund, the UNRA, and quite a number. What's government's plan on this, and of course, how far and of what effect will it be to you? Because it just seems like every agency here is producing and, of course, delivering and doing work. Would the mergers also come as a way of helping, or it will retrogress progress?
Well, I may be swimming in waters which are not mine. This is the Minister of Public Service is totally responsible for this process. However, it was a cabinet decision, and I'm a member of cabinet.
A member of cabinet,
and
yes.
So I own up the cabinet decision. Cabinet looked at to all these, and I think came to a conclusion that there is a lot of multiplication or duplication. There is a lot of wastage in terms of having agencies, many agencies. And also it was not making, it had stopped making sense. Why agency X, for example, a person with the same qualification would get 10 million, and a person who's in the mainstream ministry gets 2 million, and they have the same qualification. It became a matter of debate. Why? Is it delivering more than this one?
More than this one?
Did they go to a different school, but they all went to they got the same qualification document. And so why the disparity? So all these are processes which are going to be done, including there is I think a committee which is going to sit down to see how to do the equalization in terms of pay. How do you bring, I'll use my example, engineers. How do you bring all my engineers to be at the same, within the same rate or within the same, salary bracket, as opposed to one being this way and the other being that way. So these are the cabinet said, okay, let's now put up a committee to oversee this process. Actually, originally cabinet had said, let this process not be stamped, let it go on for 3 years for smooth rollover, so that there is no disturbance of what is happening in agencies. So that's the process. Because some agencies, some of the agencies, if they're going to be to be removed, you have to go back to Parliament because they were established by Act of Parliament.
So
the acts must be repealed, and then a new law comes in place.
Okay.
But we are in the process. We have already started as a ministry. When we got this, for us, we started early. We actually put up a small committee to look at how would we sit these agencies if they are to come in. One of the things which we have actually been very, very strong about is that whatever capacity, whatever skills have been developed by any of the agencies which is coming should not be lost, should be preserved.
Okay.
Because that skill, that capacity, that knowledge is for Uganda.
Okay.
It's not for that individual. Okay. Because that individual, most of the agencies, we invested in the training, capacity building, and that was government money. So all that which has been developed, for example, when if I use UNRWA as one of the examples, they now have even a fully-fledged design unit. Should we lose that? Possibly not.
Okay.
So these are some of the things we are looking at, the modalities, how do we do it with without sending shockwaves, or limiting the shockwaves if there are any.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, General Katumba Mala. But very finally, in maybe 1 minute, where do you see the ministry in the next maybe 5 years as we build towards Ugandan dream of 2040?
Well, I think the ministry within that time, I see a ministry which will be well focused and positioned to deliver on services.
Okay.
Because what is the pain? The pain of the people, it's not the people. It's not all about politics. People want services. That's what they want.
People want services.
People want services. People in Chamuswa want a vessel. They want what we call a meri. Yes, they want. That's what they want. People in Kome, they want a ferry to be moving their products. That's the service they want.
Services.
They want services.
Not anything else.
This politics is for me, sorry to say this, but I think it's wasting a lot of our time. Because people want services. And my ministry, this is our focus.
Okay.
That let's build a ministry which is responsive and which is able to deliver the required services to the people efficiently and also conveniently.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you so much, General Edward Katumba Mala, for having allowed to join us on Good Morning Uganda Extra this morning. Thank you so much, Afando Mala.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much to all our viewers out there. We thank you so much for being part of the conversation. And of course, General Edward Katumba Mala, the Minister of Works and Transport, has joined us here today to talk about the Minister of Works. And of course, as a turnkey ministry to national development, the plans in there, what they've achieved and what they've done, and of course, where he sees it for the future.
Sorry, Gagenda, if I leave without talking about Usabara Road being done.
Busabara Road.
I just want to give assurance to my people in Busabara that we have the problem which had made the slow progress.
That had hindered you.
Yes, was because of the utilities. Relocating water, relocating the pipes of water and power. But we are on course, and I think let's see what happens within the month of December.
Okay.
Because I know if I don't talk about Usabara.
So something good is about to happen in Usabara.
Yes.
Thank you so much, General Edward Katumba Mala. We take it from here. For God and my country, stay blessed. Good morning and bye for today.
Thank you.